Applying for an e-visa could sometimes be an arduous, stressful, and annoying process that sometimes or oftentimes ends with denial and rejection. Louder for the Nigerians in the back. Hello? So in this video, I'll be walking you through the e-visa application process for Malaysia, and I'll be sharing my step-by-step application process, what I did, what I didn't do, and important tips that you should know before or while applying for the Malaysian e-visa. Be sure to watch this video from beginning to the end because you do not want to miss out on any important details. Feel free to leave any queries, questions down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if this video comes in handy, please be sure to subscribe to help out the channel, and also leave a like and comment so that YouTube can recommend my video to other viewers like you. Before we go over to the computer and start screen recording, I want to let you know that you should not follow me while I'm doing this with Safari. Please use Google Chrome, and if you're in China like me, you do not need a VPN. This website works perfectly well without a VPN, and it also doesn't matter where you apply your visa from. Some Nigerians are probably wondering, like, are you allowed to go to Malaysia? Yes, you are. Some countries are allowed visa-free travel into Malaysia for 90, 60, 30 days, or even 2 weeks. I have a link of countries down below and all the visa requirements you need to meet. So if you find yourself on that list and you see that you need a visa to go into Malaysia, this video is for you. Let's go through the step-by-step application process to get a Malaysian e-visa. There are very important documents that you will need to apply for your visa, which you could save to a folder on your phone or to a folder on your computer, desktop, MacBook, whatever. They are a passport photo meeting the requirements or specifications, measurements of a Malaysian passport photo, a valid passport of about 6 months or at least 6 months. They do not accept IATA itineraries, which are travel itineraries that you get from like third-party apps that you use to book your flight tickets. So make sure that you have travel itineraries or electronic tickets that you have requested for or gotten from your airline directly, because they will need it. Proof of your hotel bookings or check-in vouchers, which you can request from whatever app that you use to book your hotels, and they'll be sent to your emails and you could download from there. I specifically use trip.com and I recommend trip.com. Bank statement. I live in China, so my bank statement has to have at least 10,000 Chinese yuan or Chinese RMB in my account. That's what I need to show. I think the amount of money that needs to be in your account differs according to whatever country you are applying from. You should have money to pay for your visa fee, and that costs approximately 130 Malaysian ringgit. And also the price of the visa fee, I think, changes quarterly. So I also don't know why this was needed. I don't know if it's because I'm Nigerian or if it's because I live in China, but certain documents like your resident permit page, information pertaining to when you last entered whatever country you're residing in that is not your home country, I think will be asked of you. They also asked me to submit proof of my school, proof of me being a student there. So there are certain documents that you need to have on standby. And I was traveling with people that literally did not need a visa to go in there. And I don't know if these things just differs pertaining to whoever is applying for the visa, but it was a lot. These people stressed me, and I will get into it, okay? I'll get into it as we go. So I think if you have all these things on standby, we should be ready to start the visa application process now. This is the only website that you should be using to apply for your Malaysian visa, and it's really, really easy to do this on this website without any outside agent and whatever, and I think it costs way less. I am a returning user, but if you're new, you could click on apply, and then you will fill in your given name, your surname, your nationality, your passport number, your gender, your date of birth, and you can fill in your current address. Now, because my VPN is on, it's going to pick this up, so I need to turn off my VPN so that I could fill in any other country. Because if your VPN is on, it's going to pick up whatever location you are using on your VPN. So take note of that if you're trying to apply for this from China. I'm going to turn off my VPN real quick. You have to make sure that all your information, if you're in China, make sure that all your information, your address, your postcode, your city, your country, your phone number, everything matches where you stay or where you reside in China. Make sure that your information matches where you stay and wherever it's registered in your name. And then you provide the information that you want to log in with, your email, your password, and then fill in this CAPTCHA and register. But I don't think I need to register all over again. So I'm just going to go back to the home page and then I'm going to log in as a returning user. I'm going to paste my password, fill in this CAPTCHA. So now that you are signed in, what you're looking at is my e-visa that was already approved because I've already been to Malaysia, but I'm trying to put you guys on, okay? So this is where you're going to print your e-visa after you have been approved. And this is where you're going to print your receipt of payment. When you click on apply now, you are going to select your e-visa type, which is tourist. And then e-visa for tourists is only valid for a single journey to Malaysia for purposes of tour subjected to eligibility of nationality. Proceed. When you come to this page, you have to have it in mind that most people get their visas denied because of their passport photo. Their passport photo does not meet the size measurements or requirements. It's not clear enough, or the background is not white. So you need to make sure that you are in the correct frame when you are uploading your passport photo. And if you do not have a passport photo already, there's so many free apps online that you could download to help you take a passport photo, like just in the comfort of your house. Or you could always go outside to pay for your passport photograph to be taken, but be sure to tell them that you need it in the Malaysian passport photo specifications. And even when you use the free apps, I use Cam Scanner and I'm going to link it down below. You can get it from the App Store. You could also find settings to resize them according to whatever passport photo specifications you want to meet. And then 2 is your information. Your information needs to match whatever is on your passport data page. And also be sure to upload a very clear passport data page photo. Make sure that all the emblems, all the numbers, all the details are very clear. If not, you're going to have problems and you're going to have to do like a lot of amendments. Select. These are the specifications, the size. You will see this when you get on the website. And then you select file. This is something that gave me a problem, which was when I selected a photo and it said fake path passport photo JPG. I thought that it was not uploading until I contacted support and I'm like, I am trying to upload this photo. And then they're like, oh, it's actually uploaded. Even if it doesn't show here, it's just telling you what folder it came from. So I'm also going to select my passport data page. So now you're going to fill in your particulars and then your visa details. So I'm gonna choose single entry visa and then you select whatever you're going there to do. I'm going there as a tourist. And then these are the travel documents that you are supposed to provide. So passport number, place of country issued, Nigeria, passport issuance date, and you're going to also fill in your passport expiry date. And next, you're going to fill in your address in Malaysia. So for example, the hotel address you'll be staying, postcode, and the city. So this is the address and the details of the hotel that I was staying in when I went to Malaysia. And then you fill in your current address, like where you're currently living. You fill in your current residential address here. This is what I was saying, your flight ticket, your proof of journey. So here you're going to select and upload your electronic ticket for your flight. Your accommodation documents should look like this. It's supposed to be like a check-in voucher, which you download from your email, and it shows how long you'll be staying there, when you check in, your name, the people that will be staying there, like literally everything. You select your file and upload your bank statement, your valid visa. So basically here I submitted my residence permit page in my passport, because you get one of those residing in China. But I don't know how it looks like for other people residing in other places. Make sure to note if it says docs or PDF. So if it says PDF, make sure that you put it in a Word document, or you put it in a Word app, whatever Word app that you can export the document as a PDF. So I'm going to select these documents, I'm going to submit them, and I will be back. After I've filled in all my information, this tab is going to come up where you're going to look through all the terms and conditions, read through everything carefully. There's like 4 pages, and they basically explain everything you need to know about like applying, the people in charge of processing your visa, and the working days. It takes 2 working days to process your visa, and it could take longer if you have any issues, if you have any amendments. So that's why it's very, very important to apply for your visa at least 14 working days in advance, because you don't want to be sorting out any amendment issues close to when you're going to be traveling, when you're not even sure it's going to be fixed or processed. So make sure that you give yourself like a good amount of time. So make sure to read and understand everything before you confirm and agree. If you have any issues with your passport photo, they're going to bring you to this page. It's an image editor where you can basically adjust your passport photo to fit the sample. So it's a little bit of your shoulders showing, your whole head, your 2 ears have to be visible as well. Well, I basically have to give myself some more space above my head, because it looks like my head is touching the top of the frame. That could work. I'm going to confirm and continue. If it has any problem, it's going to bring me back here. Okay, photo acceptable. So I don't think I have any more amendments to make, except they send me an email and ask me to amend anything or provide any other documents. When you scroll down, you could see options to rotate any of your photos if necessary. I don't need to rotate any photos. And I also forgot to tell you guys that there is a slot where you're supposed to submit your passport data page for any old passports that you may have. If there's nothing to edit or add here, you could just go ahead and click confirm to proceed. So when you click to proceed, this is where you see the preview, you see all the information you've provided, and you have a chance to go back and make any corrections still, and the documents I uploaded. And you can select your payment method, which is a Visa card and WeChat and Alipay. So if you do not have a Visa card and you're trying to pay from China, you can use WeChat and Alipay, but I think this is where you should have a Chinese friend to help you, because the WeChat and Alipay on this website does not work for like foreigners in China. It has to be that of a Chinese citizen, a Chinese ID owner. So you need to select that and have your friend help you scan the code. When you select that and you certify that all the information is correct and accurate, and you proceed to pay, you read this and you confirm, and then you proceed. The visa fee in Malaysian ringgit is 127. So once you click on proceed payment, it will take you to where you can make your payment. After you've paid, your visa application process should be complete. If you're going to get a single visa entry tourist e-visa, it will only be available for the time that you put in. So you put in your entry date and your exit date. Make sure that all your information is very correct, because after you've paid and completed the application process, you cannot make any changes. So whatever mistakes that are there is just yours to deal with, because you have to start from scratch and you have to pay the application fee all over again. Honestly, it did take me 1 week to get my visa approved. They just kept asking me to submit literally some of the documents that I have already submitted, like my residence permit page, a document to show when I entered China, where I school, certificates showing proof that I schooled there in China, but like it was just a lot. Do not expect them to be working, or do not expect to be able to contact support on Saturdays and Sundays. Honestly, just try to cooperate. If they keep asking you to submit things, resubmit or amend documents. If you're applying from China, I have the number for the Malaysian consulate down below, and the address and website. Make sure to contact whatever consulate that's available in your country or wherever you reside, and just disturb them. Just keep calling them back to back to back, because I don't think they will check or they will get back to you by email on time. Another important thing is to be sure to print out your arrival form. There's a digital copy that will be sent to your email. Print it out and have a hard copy and a soft copy saved to your phone or a screenshot, so that when you get to the immigration queue upon entry, you need to show that to them. Over here or over here is what your Malaysian e-visa should look like once you have been approved. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If there's anything I missed, let me know down below as well. If you found this video helpful, again, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's going to help YouTube to push my content to similar viewers like you. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more travel content. I'll be sharing my experiences and my travels in Malaysia with you guys. Until next time, see ya.